What a perfect day to write about kindness raining down. So today we make rain, and there's so many different ways we can do this creatively through music. And I'm going to actually ask your help on this a little bit later. But first, let's see how we got here. Remember, we began with a section that resembled a building storm. It contained our main theme, as well as some ripple effects, and reached a great build-up, and then we went into Little Hurts. Little Hurts was a more melancholy theme that you heard in the last video, and even this built up to a great battle. Remember, somebody said something about each one of us is fighting a private battle inside. And that's where we left off last time, and now we go to kindness raining down. In this section, we talked about making sounds that emulate rain, and I thought of some instruments that could do this really well. Possibly the harp, the mandolin, some percussion, guitar, and piano, and of course there can be some other instruments involved as well, but these instruments ring and they have a really percussive attack that reminds me of rain. Now, I'm actually going to ask all of you to maybe think about some ways that you could make sounds, not necessarily with your instrument, it could be with your instrument, but maybe using found objects at home. And we're going to experiment with this a little bit when I come into town again in this fall semester. So here's a little inspiration to help get you started. Now, in coming up with the idea for this section, I imagined myself outside waiting for the rain to come. And rain never just comes all at once. Well, I guess sometimes it does, but usually it comes in little dribbles. So the music starts out with just these little short dribbles. Then later on you get another one. Another. And then finally, it comes pouring down. And then when we get to here, it starts to build up. You recognize that? That's actually our fiddle tune again. Now this section actually has a pretty important guitar part. And since I don't play guitar and haven't written for guitar that much, I thought I should probably pick one up and see what's possible on the instrument. Now in doing this, I'm able to ensure that everything fits nicely under the hand, there's nothing terribly awkward. Of course, I'm not going to be able to play it as well as your guitarist, but at least I know it won't be too difficult and that he will be able to pull it off with ease. The last thing I wanted to show you in the score is this line here in the strings. So you see it starts with a G. And this melody is going to play after the little dribbles. dribbles, and the melody is going to come back. Now, this is just kind of a way of gluing it all together, making sure that it doesn't just sound like a bunch of fragmented bits. But it also recalls our melody. So even when we're writing a melody that just seems to be like glue, we're always thinking of ways of bringing it back, tying it back to the first things that we heard in the piece. So here it is all together. I'm going to start like I did last time, a little bit before the new section, just so you can have a sense of where it's coming from. And so in this case, I'm going to be starting near the end of the big battle scene, which ends in this huge chord. From there, you're going to hear what sounds like the fiddle tune again. That leads to another higher chord, and that's where the rain section starts. So the fiddle tune gets us into this section, and then at the end of the section, you're going to hear this. Again, the fiddle tune. So as you can see, at the end there, we get back into our first section again.